It sounds like for you, jujitsu's, okay, this is going to be like 3 or 4 questions together. So it sounds like jujitsu is your primary martial art, right? That's the one that you have the most experience with. But yet you started with judo from your grandpa. But it sounds like that it's much more than just fighting. There's like, it's like you've learned more than just how to punch and kick and hit people, right? I mean, it sounds like this was a profound experience for you.
At the time, when I practiced judo, I didn't have idea what it was. I just want to learn how to defend myself, because being a poor kid growing in the slum of Rio de Janeiro, you really learn how to defend yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna have one choice: put the hand on the guns and defend yourself. And that's not what I believe in. I believe defending myself with my own wrist, my own fist. And that brought me to another level, even amongst my friends, because that's how I gained the respect even from the bad guys from the slum. So I chose to follow Carson Gracie, because he brought me the courage. He brought me the courage and the understanding that Jiu-Jitsu needs volunteers. Jiu-Jitsu needs soldiers to defend the art. And the art was, for us, is brand new. At the same time, was the art that come from our founding fathers from Brazil. Then I thought, oh, what a better opportunity I have to be around the son of the inventor of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Then that makes me humble, makes me understand why this has happened to me at this moment. It's not a thing that I chose to do. Oh, I'm gonna do this because I know Jiu-Jitsu is gonna go to the United States one day. Oh, I wanna do this because I'm gonna be famous. I never did that for fame, for anything. Because when I used to do Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu was only for the thugs. They used to look down on Jiu-Jitsu. Even in our country, Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of people think, oh, Jiu-Jitsu is famous all over the world. Yes, now, but Jiu-Jitsu in our own country wasn't that fame. We have the reputation of being thugs. Then today, Jiu-Jitsu is the opened the door for a lot of people all over the world. Even in America, when I first came to America, nobody knew what Jiu-Jitsu, nobody knew what was Brazil. If today we come to America, if somebody say, if today we come to America, if Brazil is being recognized in the United States of America, was not because of a soccer, was not because of our politician, was because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And when I first came over here, we don't have Jiu-Jitsu, we don't have anything. Then I embraced that dream. I believe in the dream. I believe in this guy. I believe in Carson Gracie, that when he recruited me to be part of his ideology, for many people was a utopia, Carson's dream, but for me it was so real that I embraced this with my soul. I followed this man with my heart. That's the reason today I was very humble and very honored to be part of this whole movement, and even be considered one of those forefathers of Jiu-Jitsu all over the world. This is humble. This is bringing me to such a humble experience, because I never expected to be part of this. Like I said, Jiu-Jitsu was not even famous in our country. only a little group of people were doing just because we love it. Just because we have so much respect for our masters. It's just because if Carson Gracie says, hey, you're gonna represent Jiu-Jitsu, that was, because back in the day, a lot of people don't understand. If you represent Jiu-Jitsu, if you wanna say, oh, I represent Jiu-Jitsu, back in the day, would it be very difficult for you to do this? Because we have only 3 people that could say that if you go into a fight, only 3 people could say, yes, you represent Jiu-Jitsu, no, you don't represent. It was Carlos Gracie, Helio Gracie, and Carson Gracie. But today, everybody, oh, I represent Jiu-Jitsu, I represent Jiu-Jitsu. Back in the day, only the people that was chosen to represent Jiu-Jitsu represent Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, that's interesting.
But today, everybody say, oh, I represent Jiu-Jitsu. But Jiu-Jitsu today lost their fathers. There was Carlos, Helio, Carson. Then, after this, Jiu-Jitsu turned to a little anarchy. Even in this anarchy chaos, we still managed to put the art together because the art was legit. That's why America embraced the Jiu-Jitsu, because we were capable to prove through fighting that we were able to defeat people. We were really legit. I like to say things like, for example, to the martial arts world, when the Brazilian came to America and started defeating everybody, I like to say there was a bad news and a horrible news. The bad news is the Jiu-Jitsu conquer everybody right now all over the world. And the horrible news, they're not from Asia, they're from Brazil. Then this shocked the martial arts world. You see a bunch of Brazilian guys come from Brazil and choking everybody out. You know, that was very frustrating. And this was a shock in the martial arts world. For the karates, for the taekwondo, for the boxers, for the kickboxers, for the wrestlers. See a bunch of guys come from Brazil and challenge the whole world to fight. You know, then for me, I want to be part of this entourage. I want to be part of the history, because the history will never be made again. We will never make this history again. Then I thought, I remember when Carson, I was brown belt when Carson came to me and said, Allan, you gotta fight Vale Tudo. And I was a little skeptical. I was thinking, Master, are you sure I'm good for this? He goes, you are phenomenal. You can do that. You have a great Jiu-Jitsu, Allan, and your Jiu-Jitsu can be applied for the Vale Tudo. Hey, after this, who am I to argue with the guy? The son of the inventor. The guy that if it wasn't for him, today, every single one of us that teaches Jiu-Jitsu today will be selling banana on the street, because if it wasn't for Carson Gracie, defeat Valdemar Santana, and to bring the Jiu-Jitsu back to their position of supreme art, if it wasn't for Carson to do this, after Helio get defeated by Santana, Jiu-Jitsu would be forgotten.